Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Now today we've got some pretty interesting things to go over for the Indigo Disk DLC. Apparently an old mythical Pokemon is making a return in part 2 of the hidden treasure of Area Zero, and we also have some pretty cool theories to go over about how Kieran could be connected to the evil legendary that we're also going to be seeing in part 2 of the DLC. So a lot of things to break down today. If you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's talk about this old mythical Pokemon that is apparently going to be returning in the Indigo Disk DLC. So here we have Centro basically tweeting out saying, looks like they're in Sword and Shield DLC. An old mythical Pokemon will be catchable in the Indigo Disk. So I'm assuming from this tweet, they're saying that it was available in Sword and Shield DLC, and now an old mythical will also be catchable in the Indigo Disk, because they're saying looks like they're in Sword and Shield DLC. I don't know. I think it's worded like poorly, but I think that's kind of what they're talking about. And then also apparently it's going to be shiny locked as well. So straight off the bat, a mythical Pokemon that I remember being in Sword and Shield's DLC is Keldeo. Keldeo could very well easily be in the Indigo Disk, especially because we're getting paradox forms of Terrakion, Cobalion, and Virizion. So it kind of makes sense we're going to see Keldeo as well. Hate the fact that if Keldeo is in the DLC, it's going to be shiny locked again, because like it's been years, Game Freak, just let it go. Like it should have been shiny huntable in the Crown Tundra, but now unfortunately if it is back in the Indigo Disk, it's once again going to be shiny locked if it is Keldeo. It could be a handful of other mythicals as well if they've just got kind of like writ this out badly. It could easily be Celebi. You know, Celebi is a mythical Pokemon that we've not seen return in the Scarlet and Violet games yet, because if you weren't aware, we actually had a handful of mythicals return in the Teal Mask, not as in like catchable encounters, but Pokemon that you could just trade in from Pokemon Home, which was Fione, Manaphy, I believe it was Darkrai. Obviously, Mew was already available. I think Jirachi was also one of them. I think there might be another one as well. But the main ones that aren't are obviously... Well, I mean, there's a lot of mythicals that aren't available yet. But your Victini, your Keldeo, Magearna, and I think maybe a couple more as well that are still not available. So maybe with this, because all the starters are back, they're just going to make all the mythicals back as well that you're going to be able to transfer in. But yeah, this one's different because it's going to be a catchable mythical Pokemon. It's not going to be something you just trade in from Pokemon Home. But yeah, people are obviously saying like, you know, Keldeo. I mean, this person's saying Keldeo was already in the Sword and Shield DLC. This is why I don't think this is worded very well. Like, looks like they're in Sword and Shield DLC. An old mythical Pokemon. I don't know. I don't really know how to kind of understand this message, because people are literally saying, you know, Keldeo is in the DLC. But either way, it could be Keldeo, it could be Celebi, it could be Victini. All we need to know is that basically there is going to be an old mythical returning in the Indigo Disk that is going to be catchable, and it's also going to be shiny locked, which again is annoying, but either way, if it's a Pokemon that's already shiny huntable in the past, then it won't be too bad. Moving on, we have some really cool theories about how Kieran is connected to this Dokutaru legendary that is also going to be available in the Indigo Disk. That again, we know what it looks like and everything, because we've literally seen data-mined images, and as well as that, it's literally in the Teal Mask as well as like a plushie or whatnot. Anyway, the whole kind of trend that started this whole Kieran evil saga was by Caleb Capsule, who said there is briefly a dark purplish shadow around Kieran's fist when he punches the monument. It fades away quickly, almost like it was absorbed into the monument. Could this shadow be what brought the Loyal 3 back to life? We have Pokizutami talking about this as well with actual video footage. So this is obviously where Kieran does kind of punch the monument, and as you can see, there is like a purple sort of fog thing. Like you can see it there. It's very faint, but you can see like a purplish kind of color that either goes into the monument or like kind of goes out of the monument. But either way, we've got an arrow here as well. So yeah, you can kind of see it. So I don't know if like Kieran's... It looks like is being absorbed by Kieran, but either way, there is some sort of purplish shadow when Kieran's anger kind of like hits the monument. So we have Pokestutami here saying, Kieran's purple haze. I slowed down, then zoomed in on the purple haze scene where Kieran punches the stone at Loyalty Plaza and a small purplish haze can be very briefly seen. Watching it in slow motion and zoomed in, it appears that the haze is coming from the stone pillar and not Kieran. So perhaps through Kieran's desire and anger in the monument, or in the moment he punched the stone, the mysterious Pokemon was awakened. So again, this, like, Dokutaro might have had something to do with them, like, way back when. But maybe, like, the anger of Kieran, maybe it just needed someone to sucker punch the monument, and then that'd be like, oh, we're gonna wake up now. So we obviously have that, and then going into a little bit more detail about this, we have Pokestutami also saying it's literally in his name. So apparently Kieran is a name with Irish origins, meaning little dark one, as in like little evil one. So unfortunately his Japanese name isn't as fun, which is this, which means gooseberry, and the only real implications the Japanese name could have for his darker personality would be that his nickname, which is Sugu, Japanese version of Kiki, can mean immediately, and the fact that gooseberries tend to be sour and acidic tasting. So again, a little bit more information about like the kind of name connotations and stuff for Kieran, which you know, Irish origins, but either way it can mean some sort of like evil kind of aspect and stuff. So we have that as well. Again, I don't think Kieran's gonna like want to be like an evil character. I think that he's just gonna be like possessed or mind controlled, and that's kind of the whole zombie situation. I just think that, you know, this Dokutaro mind controls people, mind controls Pokemon, brings out maybe their evil spirits or something, and that's kind of how the story is going to be play out in the Indigo Disk, but either way, we'll have to wait and see. We do also have Pokestutami here saying, interesting. So this is obviously a tweet here that says, Suguri-kun said that when he was little, he went to the mountains at night many times to meet demons and got scolded. So I wonder if his soul has already been taken out. So we have Pokestutami here saying, interesting. So Kieran said that since he was young, he would visit the mountain often during the night, hoping to meet Ogerpon. Maybe perhaps instead of Ogerpon, he might have met something entirely different, and it could have had a huge impact on his life without anyone, even Kieran himself, being aware of it. So he said, when I was little, I went up to the mountains so many times at night, all on my own, and I never, and then he says, only scary thing that happened was the grown-ups giving me a real earful about it. So, you know, potentially he did actually come into contact with Dokutaro, and potentially it could have, like, done something to him, and then that's why when he hit the stone, these Pokemon awakened. Or it could have just literally been as simple as the anger was needed to kind of awaken these Pokemon. We then also have this post as well by Pokestutami. Massive shout out to Pokestutami, by the way, for all of these tweets and stuff. But here she is saying the last scene shows Kieran's eyes without the white highlight to portray the fact that he has fallen into darkness. But actually, there are multiple scenes where his eyes are not visible. So what were his eyes showing at the times we couldn't see them? His descent into darkness likely happened much earlier than the end scene. So obviously this is the end scene of the Teal Mask, spoilers, where he's like stronger, 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 I need to be stronger. You can kind of see there's like, the eyes very much like, they look kind of evil, you know. They kind of almost look like snake eyes in the sense that, you know, maybe it could be kind of some sort of like, I guess, combination of that. But yeah, this is when his eyes look like normal earlier on, but this is kind of when it looks like the life has kind of been drained out of his eyes. Or not the life, but like, you know, he's just not himself. And then we also have Soul Silverrock kind of talking about this as well, the whole Kieran situation. So this was kind of like the part one where, you know, this was where he was saying like he hasn't reached this part yet, but basically, number one, this exploding aura coming from the lower three's graves is the same pink color of the toxic chains and the apparent color of this Pokemon that we saw in Peachy's shop. Believe that Dokutaro Pokemon is a poison ghost type. This would give it any number of supernatural abilities, including becoming invisible, which could be why we don't see it literally resurrect them, possessing someone like Kieran and bringing other spirits back from the world of the dead. Number three, I believe it's the one behind the Loyal Three's motives. It brought them back for itself in its own plan. In this way, it's smarter than the Loyal Three and functions as their leader or trainer like we see in the signboards. Peaches are native to China, and apparently in China they were known as the fruit of immortality. So I'd say resurrection is definitely in a Peach Pokemon's wheelhouse. And if we're talking about resurrection as well, why can't Heath be resurrected? And maybe that's how Heath comes back into the story. Because I swear ages ago I got data mined that Heath was going to have dialogue. Again, whether that was going to be actual dialogue in the game or dialogue through a flashback, we're obviously not sure, but it's definitely something to kind of think about. And by looking at Kayla's images below, it might even have used Kieran to resurrect the Loyal 3, might have introduced itself to Kieran a while back, and could be influencing, corrupting him and how he sees others. And then we have kind of a part 2 follow-up to this. So part 2 becomes part 3 because I just experienced this scene myself, and it's clear to me now. I fully believe Game Freak not only hints that Dokutaru resurrected the Loyal 3, but that it may have been Kieran under the influence of Dokutaru. Here's why. So after Kieran eavesdrops on us hiding the true story of the ogre, he runs off. Immediately after we are sent to get him, and we find him at freaking Peachy's shop. After this, we got with him to the final signboard, which will be part 3 of the theory. And then later, when we face Kieran at the Loyal 3's grave, all of Carmine's dialogue is riddled with information. She keeps stressing that Kieran isn't normally like this, and when she asked if this is normal behavior for someone Kieran's age, the answers we can select are, I don't know and I don't think so. To me, these answers both lean towards, no, this isn't exactly normal. After that, the Loyal 3 are resurrected, and of course, she asks what brought them back, which is a good question because why would they randomly come back in the exact moment that all of these events occurred, including Kieran punching his memorial? So, like I say, a massive backstory. There's like so many different kind of stories shooting off from just the Teal Mask into the Indigo Disk. Like obviously we have the kind of terrestrial pool that we have in the middle of the Teal Mask where we actually have like Terrapagos's like original form in the pool, and it's gonna obviously be like all the terrestrial energy, like Glimmer appears there, Glimora appears there, we have Briar as well kind of there as well, so we're gonna have that link to the Indigo Disk, and as well as that we have this whole Dokutaru storyline also linking through Kieran, maybe other characters from the Teal Mask into the Indigo Disk as well, which is why I think these DLC is going to be so good, because we literally have, it is literally a part 1 and a part 2. It's not like the Alavama and the Crown Tundra where they just felt like very separate. These two literally play into each other, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, I mean, again, hey, hopefully we get a trailer about it soon, but I think even in a trailer, I don't think they would show Dokutaru. I don't think they would show any of the new kind of Pokemon on that kind of side of things, like the Terrapagos form and everything like that. I think they would just show like Paradox Entei, Paradox Terrakion, and then maybe some like more gameplay of it. Who knows? But either way, that is going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. Again, leave a comment. What do you think this mythical Pokemon is going to be that's going to be catchable in the Indigo Disk? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Again, I still think it's Keldeo. Again, I don't know if Centro wrote this badly or not, because like from this, it looks like it was something that appears in Sword and Shield. But then we have people here saying, you know, Keldeo was already in Sword and Shield. I generally have no idea. And then also, what are your thoughts on the whole Kieran situation as well? Do you think he is going to be like evil or possessed by Dokutaru or something like that? Let me know your thoughts on all that. But thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. It's everything from me, though. Have a great rest of your day. And until next time, peace.